Hi, I'm Mrs. Mason. Welcome to day 11 of growing alligators, and today we're going to find out if our gators have stopped growing. So grab your notebook and let's make some observations. For our third grade observations, you can see the two gators side by side. They are roughly the same shade of green. As the gators grow, they get a little bit lighter. And I've already taken some measurements, and I noticed something really strange. For the mass of the gator in the tap water, it almost doubled. So you can see I put boxes around those measurements. That's what we would call an outlier. So as I'm looking at how the gator has grown from day 1 all the way to day 9, it's been smaller, but I refreshed the water yesterday. So I'm wondering if that made a difference overnight. So we'll have to think about that when we are drawing our conclusions. Maybe we can have a chat in the comments about why you think that happened and what should we do to get better information. These are our 4th grade gators side by side. The one on the left is 45 grams of salt water, and the one on the right is the 90 grams of salt water. And our measurements have not changed at all this week. So I'm going to go ahead and keep them out of the water, out of the salt water, and we'll start to measure how much they start to shrink. And for 5th grade, these are the 4 gators. The one on the left is the gator in the tap water. Hydrogen peroxide is in the middle with the vinegar, and the control is on the right. Just make some observations about the different shades of green compared to their size. According to their data, the mass of the hydrogen peroxide and the vinegar have stayed the same, as well as the control. I did put a box around the one in the tap water because it was so much different after I changed the water. And for the length, again, hydrogen peroxide, vinegar, and control are all the same as it was yesterday. Actually, all week long, they've stayed the same. And I put a box around the tap water because it changed so much. So on day 11, we had some very interesting things happen with our growing gators. One of them was that strange data point that happened with the gator in the tap water. So when we have something that doesn't quite fit, it's called an outlier. That is a data point that doesn't follow the trend or the pattern. So what do we do with that? There's several things that we can try. Number 1, we want to repeat the trials. If we had several growing gators and multiple trials happening at the same time, we would know right away that something just didn't quite fit. Number 2, we can measure again, just to make sure that I was measuring correctly. So on my scale, I made sure that I was measuring in grams. I turned it off, I turned it back on, I made sure that I dried the gator well, and I still got the same answer. Number 3, try to find a cause. Was it the tool that you were using? Maybe it was the conditions that you were measuring. The only thing I can think of that changed the data or would have caused the change would have been changing the water in the actual container. And then number 4, we have to decide what to do with the data. So if I'm looking at the 3rd grade data, I'm realizing everything from that point above might be wrong. I don't know which data is correct and if changing the water actually changed the results. So in the comments below, what do you think? Maybe we should start the tap water gator again and see if we get similar results or different results. What do you think?